In my opening remarks, I'd like to focus on 3 points. First point is, if we look at our country's journey towards clean energy, compared with many other geographies, our Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji focused like a laser sharp focus on increasing the capacity of clean energy production. And today, for a country which is considered as a developing country, having close to 45% of our power generation capacity coming from renewable energy, that's something which is indeed a very remarkable thing, which is, when I asked this question at Davos, when I asked them that India, what do you think India would be having as its clean energy as a proportion of its power generation capacity? Most people in the audience would reply 7%, 5%, 10%. It is actually 45%. So that's the first point I would like to make, and I would like the panelists also to discuss it. And I would also like to recognize Honorable MP Shri Sujit Kumar ji. He is also present. He is a very well-educated person from Harvard. He has done a lot of good work in public policy. He is present with us. We would love to have his views also during the discussions. Now I'll come to the second point out of the 3 points that I wanted to make. Second point is about developing technologies. Clean energy and sustainable development requires that we should have self-reliance in many technologies. For example, I'll give you 2 examples. Hydrogen train. There are only 4 countries in the world which have been able to develop a hydrogen train. And most of the countries have developed trains with the capacity of about 500, 600 horsepower. We in India decided to take that as a challenge, and we have developed successfully, using our own engineers, using our own talent, a hydrogen train which is 1,200 horsepower. And that is, at this point of time, the highest capacity hydrogen train. Why I am giving this example? When you develop technologies like this, which are as complex as hydrogen train, then you get the opportunity of having many spin-off projects. So the powertrain, which has been developed for 1,200 horsepower, that powertrain can tomorrow be used in large trucks, that can be used in large construction equipment. That same powertrain can be used in boats, tugboats, pilot boats. So the spin-off effects of developing a technology indigenously, that is huge. So that's the second point I wanted to make, that the country today is very focused on developing new technologies. So when we talk of sustainability, one of the key points that comes is how much of our transportation we are doing by clean transportation means. I'm sure all the panelists will discuss in detail about it. If you want to carry 1 ton for 1 kilometer, then the cleanest mode is on surface, the cleanest mode is railway. The emissions, carbon dioxide emissions, are 90% less when you transport using trains compared with the transportation by road. 90%. It's all calculated by experts. This is something which is there in technical literature. So our Prime Minister took a very strong, bold initiative. He decided to electrify the entire railway network. And it's a large railway network, close to 110,000 kilometers of tracks. 110,000 kilometers of tracks for the people who come from overseas. Electrifying such a large network was a very, very humongous task. The country was, before 2014, we were electrifying like, in a year we were electrifying 500, 600 kilometers. Now we are doing 6,000 kilometers a year. So within a short time frame, we have been able to electrify about 97% of our entire railway network, which means the carbon dioxide emissions due to transportation, when you compare it vis-a-vis road, is now further reduced. 90% was like your classic diesel versus diesel. Diesel traction in railway versus diesel truck on highway. When you compare electrical traction on railway versus diesel trucks on highway, that is a difference of close to 98%. Imagine the sustainability which comes with this kind of transformation. That has actually happened in our country in the last 10 years. That's what I wanted to place as my second point. The third point relates to becoming future ready. Becoming future ready means we should be able to manufacture some of the core parts of the value chain that goes into sustainable energy. What are those core parts? Those core items in the value chain are green hydrogen, are being able to do the silicon ingot, which then gets sliced into creating photovoltaic cells, being able to create lithium ion cells using advanced chemistry so that you can then have electric vehicle value chain, being able to develop permanent magnet motors so that you can then develop a variety of battery electric vehicle or hydrogen driven equipment. So today our Prime Minister is focused on developing those core elements of the value chain. Only yesterday, 1,85,000 crore. Sujit bhai, kitna hoga $1 billion mein? Roughly 25, 26? 24. $24 billion worth investment inauguration was, the foundation was laid yesterday by our Honorable Prime Minister for manufacturing green hydrogen. Now that is probably one of the largest facilities in the entire world today. So that's the thought process with which we are moving. Today we are manufacturing our own silicon ingots, which are then used to, that's happening in Gujarat, which are then used to manufacture the photovoltaic cells. So those are the things on which the country is very focused. One, increasing the power generation capacity from renewable sources. Already reached 45%, and that would be probably more than any other country among the top 10 economies by GDP. Second, developing technologies which are very core to the sustainable power, sustainable energy value chain. Third, investing in production of materials and items which go into the value chain of sustainable energy.